Tutorials.
Hey, marketers, salespeople, and everybody interested in improving the way you do digital business. Welcome to Impact Tutorials. I'm your host, Kevin Phillips, and today I'm joined by Jason Toevs from Quicc to teach us what Quicc is, what problems it solves, who it's a great fit for, how much it costs, and most importantly, he's going to give us a walkthrough on how we can actually use the tool effectively. So before we really get started, Jason, I just want to learn a little bit more about you, who you are, what you do, and how you came to work at Quicc.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm really excited to be here and to just join your entire community on making content easier and faster for their workflows. So a little bit about myself. We are based in Wichita, Kansas as a company. I actually grew up in Kansas here on a farm. And if anyone out there has worked on a farm and has experienced the grueling long hours that it takes, especially in your teenage years, you'll know why I probably migrated into technology. So I was pretty excited to just see how technology changed the way that we did things even on the farm, and it really improved how we did things, and that's really what got me hooked. And fast forward about 10 years, and here we are today. We're building an incredible tool that helps solve some interesting pain points for creators as they create video online.
Yeah, so give me like the big bird's eye view. What is Quicc?
Yeah, so Quicc actually spun out of a different startup that my co-founder and I, Mike, were working on. And the core value that we hold is the same, which is this idea of being heard. And for Quicc, that means we want to make sure that content creators are able to have their message be heard in any environment online. Now, particularly when you're sharing content on social media, you'll look at platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn, Instagram, and the volume is off by default, which means a lot of your content, most of it in fact, goes consumed with the sound off. Means if you're talking, they don't hear what you're saying. We saw this problem and we started to ask some other creators like, okay, why is it so hard to get around this or get people to engage with the content? And it was simply because adding captions or adding subtitles onto that video were really difficult and time consuming. So we thought, hey, we've got some really interesting technology here that we could use towards that. And we started building Quicc, which streamlines that process and makes it easy for content creators to burn in captions on their video content and be heard.
Gotcha. So, and I'm guessing you're thinking in social media, if I'm on my phone and I'm in public and I'm seeing a video come through and I really want to watch it, I'm probably like a lot of people. And if it doesn't have captions, I'm going to leave because while I want to watch the video, I don't want everyone else to know what I'm watching and get involved in my space, in my personal bubble. So yeah, I will watch a video if it has, basically I read the video, right? I'm watching it, but I'm also reading it. And that's pretty much what you guys do, but for marketers and businesses, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of the play on being heard, right? You're reading that content that a creator has created. And so what we've seen, and Facebook did an internal study on this a little while ago, which showed that 83% of content was consumed with the sound off on their platform in terms of video content. We like to spin this the other way and say only 17% of your content will ever be heard with the audio on. And that means that captions really are essential and necessary, especially if you want to stop that scroll. So that was kind of the original thought and the original play, and we've seen Quicc kind of explode over the last year that we've been around. And it's gone into different verticals and different industries, sports and politics, social media content, obviously education now. There's a lot of different areas that we see Quicc growing in. And it's based off of this core need to have captions on content.
Gotcha. So with your platform, who is the tool do you feel best suited for? Because you did list off a bunch of different industries and platforms and stuff, but are we talking it's best for marketers, salespeople, both, neither, somebody else out there? Who do you feel is like your ideal client for Quicc?
Yeah, and this is something that as a small team, we have to really be hyper focused on. And so while we see others using it in different industries, we're the first ones to be honest and say, like, we just don't have the capacity or bandwidth to support all of that yet. So our focus right now is short form content creators. Generally, this is less than 10 minutes, but we see people doing 10 to 20-minute clips through Quicc, no problem. And it's primarily creators who are trying to monetize that content in some way. So if you're doing social ads, if you're doing marketing campaigns for clients, if you're looking at creating resources even for sales funnels, these are areas in which it works really, really well with Quicc because there's a clear return on investment and generally some kind of call to action embedded within that content. Whether it's to dive deeper in for more information or maybe to click on a link listed below. And what we've seen is increased click-throughs on those call to actions by an average rate of about 26%. And then also increase engagement in general. So when you're talking about likes or shares or comments, we're seeing even a 16% engagement across the board on content that has captions on it versus content that does not.
Gotcha. Now, you guys have a bunch of different tier packages, right? And I'll just run a couple of them down here. And of course, I'll share the screen later and show it. You do have a free version, $0 a month. Now, what does that get you?
Yeah, so right now we want to make sure that everybody has the ability to try Quicc out and kind of see how it works. Part of this is to help enable them to kind of touch product, run a couple videos through, and just see how fast and easy it is to get those captions burned in and done. We're pretty confident, and we've seen this even with our users, that once they've experienced that and compare it to their existing workflow, if any, that they are really excited to keep using Quicc. So with that, you get a few minutes. Right now it's 10. I think that may be changing in the future. So make sure you jump in there while you can, grab some free minutes and try it out.
Awesome. Now you have several. Then you have Newcomer, Growth, Producer, Enterprise. So would you recommend most people should go in and start with a free version? Or how do you base if you're a good fit for Newcomer, Growth, Producer, and then the Enterprise version?
Absolutely. So where this really boils down to is the amount of content that you're creating on a weekly or monthly basis. And obviously these are monthly subscription packages which give you an allocation of minutes and also make any minutes that you need to buy on top of that. So if you want to top up your account, cheaper on each tier. So when you start on the Newcomer plan, you're going to get 12 minutes. You're gonna get the 10 minutes there on top of that, and you're gonna pay $12 a month. So it comes out to about $1.20 a minute. But if you ramp up to the top plans or even into enterprise, we'll reduce those rates significantly so that you can have a cheaper rate per minute. So whether you're using that on your monthly subscription allocation or if you're topping up minutes, it's all pay per use. So you're only getting charged for the content that you actually upload and use with Quicc.
Okay. Now, what about Enterprise? Because under that, it says contact us. So how do you kind of come up with the packages for the Enterprise solution?
Yeah, so enterprise is really focused on companies that have maybe some more criteria that they're looking for, and this can help us determine how to price that. So for example, we had a client of ours who needed a specific font included within their organization because it's their organization's branding that they want to have across everything. That requires licensing deals for us in certain circumstances and cases, most of them in fact, and so we have to just walk through that and figure out if that's something that they're willing to do or if there's an open source font that they would be willing to use on top of that. So there's just some of those nuances. If there's companies that require different segmentation on where their data is stored, that's something for us to consider. And then total volume and support priority. So for example, if we've got a customer who's running 30 to 50 minutes a day worth of content through Quicc versus an organization that's just looking on doing 30 to 50 minutes a week or a month, that just helps us understand what kind of load on our infrastructure we're going to be having, and then how can we support that as best we can, because we don't want to slow down those pipelines either.
Gotcha. Now, is there anybody out there who might be interested in it, but just might not be a good fit for Quicc?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think it's something that we want to make sure that we own is where do we think Quicc is the best fit for right now. To be honest, I would say if you're making long form content, we're talking like 30 minutes plus. I would struggle putting a 30-minute to an hour-long piece of content through Quicc with the existing tools that we have. That doesn't mean that we won't be a good fit or solution for you in the future, but where Quicc is at as of May 2020, I think that that might not be the best fit in terms of customer usage. Now, there's a few things that we're adding here later this summer and into the fall that I think will make us a great option for those types of creators in the future.
Gotcha. Okay, so really long videos, maybe not the best fit for. What is kind of the ideal length? Is it just a few seconds to 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or something around that range?
Yeah, we've seen the most success and the most excitement around the tool in content that is less than 15 minutes. And that's kind of an arbitrary number. It's really based off of how much time our users are wanting to spend within the editor. There's a couple new features and options that we're working in at the moment that will make that more streamlined. So for example, if you already have a transcript that's done or an SRT file that's finished, we'll be adding the ability to upload that alongside of your video, so you can just jump straight to the burning in of the captions instead of working through an editor and correcting any errors or proper nouns within the transcript.
Awesome, man. So just like anybody at home right now, I am really eager to see this tool in action. And you went ahead and recorded a demo for us that I would love to queue up right now and show the people real quick. And then after that, I would like to ask you a couple questions based on it. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here real fast.
And I'm going to jump right in and show you exactly how I would use Quicc to create a piece of content for a development update that I would put out onto social media. So let's get started. At quicc.io, at the very top, I'm going to go ahead and log in because I already have an account here. Take me to the login page where I just put in my information, and we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. So the first page you get taken to is upload video. We have a couple choices here. First, we have what language we would like to transcribe this in. And click on this flag and see the different languages. In this case, I'm going to be doing a US English video, so I'll go ahead and do this. And now note, this is not a translation, rather it's transcribing specifically from the spoken language into those words. So in this case, I've already uploaded the video, but for you, for the first time, or if you're going through Quicc and choosing your video, just choose the video that you want to upload, grab it off your device. That's very straightforward. Once you've done that, it will upload the video to our servers and start that transcribing process right away. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my videos page, which is the library of all the content that I've uploaded into Quicc, and show you a couple of the different states. So first of all, to show you what transcribing will look like, you'll see a card pop up here with your video, and it'll say transcribing. It'll probably take a minute to a few minutes, depending on the length of your video, to transcribe that and get that into the ready to edit status. Once it's ready to edit, we'll dive in and edit the text and the look of these captions to make sure it fits exactly on brand for us. So once you're in, there's two main components to the editor. First is the video and stylization section on the left. So video tab at the top and then stylization tab as well. I'm going to go ahead and choose these teal captions, this preset here. I'm going to go ahead and center align those captions because I want them centered in my preview. I might bump up the size a little bit. Let's say we want to go to 26. And then I'll jump over to the preview pane again and start playing back through this video. This gives me a sense for where the captions are going to start showing up on the video, and then I can adjust them as I need. So to move the captions around, just click and drag that caption box. Or if you have a specific position you want to use repeatedly on multiple different videos, like for example, I could say 20 for the vertical position, it'll stick it in the same place every single time. Once you've got where your captions are going to be located on your video preview, I find that it's easy to go straight through these text and just start changing the words here. So I know Toevs needs to be changed. I see Quicc isn't our company name, so we'll capitalize that, change a C here, and I can just keep going through this transcript until I've corrected all of the things that I want to correct. Usually we find that we're fairly accurate on this first transcript, but that may vary case by case. So hopefully it's not too many words that you have to screen or edit in this case. And if you need to add or remove lines, you can do that clicking this blue button to add a line or the minus sign to remove a line. You can also edit your timings here on the left-hand side just by clicking a time and choosing when the start and end time for each line is. But that's really it, guys. I've got the captions how I want them to look. I've corrected everything that I want to correct in this video. I'm going to go ahead and click Burning Captions. And that's the last thing that you have to do. It sends it off to our servers and our caption engine, and we go through and burn those captions in frame by frame, hard encoding it to the video, and then give you a few options for when it's done. So you can see it's finalizing here. It'll stay in this yellow card state for a couple of minutes while we finish up those changes and settings. But you can see this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I could download that video file straight to my computer or device. I could also go in and re-edit. So if I want to change the stylization options or download that SRT file, oh look, our video just finished the finalization process. So it was quite quick to get that video done and ready to download. And then finally, we could delete the video if we want. So in this case, I want to download this video. We'll save it to the desktop here. And then I will actually drag that up here. Oops. And I will show you a version that I've done in the past where I added a different stylized option, a different text, but you can see that's a version that we could do, or the one that we just finished. If I download that, I'll save that, and I will show you those fancy blue captions. All right, so I can open this up here in the browser. There we go.
Hey everyone, it's Jason Toevs here.
And there we go. That is as easy as it is to get captions burned in onto your video, ready to go. Thank you so much for having a look at Quicc. We are honored to have you a part of this community if you decide to use us for all of your captioning needs. And if you've got any more questions or you want to dig in deeper, feel free to reach out to us on support here in the bottom right-hand corner where you have a little chat bubble. You can also check out some of the knowledge articles for finer tuning and details of those captions. For now, thank you for checking out Quicc.
Awesome, Jason. Hey, thanks so much for doing that demo for us. I do have a couple questions as I was watching it. One of the things I noticed is when you were in the uploading the video, underneath, I think it said video marketing, there was a bar that was partly blue and it said like a minute, 57 seconds, 34 seconds in blue, and then gray had time left. Is that based on your account, how much time you have each month based on your package?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
absolutely. Okay. So we want to make sure that users know how much time they have when they're uploading their content, because that's when we decide to take the time out of their account until the video has finished uploading. So in that upload process, that's actually when we calculate the content being removed, because we go straight into the transcribing process as soon as the video is uploaded. And that's obviously where we're incurring costs to process that content for a user.
Gotcha. And what about levels of customization? Because when you're going through there and you're showing me different fonts and colors, like about how many options do I have?
Oh man, there's a lot. I think we've got over 100 font variations at the moment, and then colors. It's your pick.
Gotcha.
If it's a hex code, you can put it in there for sure. And then we also support transparency. So transparency on the background of the words, transparency on the words itself. So if you want to do kind of a cool cutout, this is one of the things that I don't see a ton of people do, but it's actually something that you can do. Is you can have like a black background, for example, and then you could make your words completely transparent, and the final look of that is almost like a stencil, right? Where you can see the video through the words itself, and then the background is black. So it's kind of a cool effect it's also hard to preview in the editor, but it's a lot of fun to see when people figure out some of those nuances.
I'm just glad like 25-year-old me didn't have access to it, because I'd be all over like Comic Sans, like terribly making the
not an
goofiest
option.
looking captions. Good.
Not an option. We left that one out. That and Papyrus are from the designer inside of me. I was just like, for designers everywhere, I will leave that off the list.
And Herculean. I think I used that a bunch of times in presentations as a kid. Awesome. And then, yeah, I love that you can pick any color you want, right? So you can get a color picker if you know your code, so you can add your own brand colors to the captions.
Yep.
Awesome. What about technical issues? Oh,
sure. Yeah. No, I was just going to say, we also have some presets that are available if you don't really know where to start, because sometimes, having too many choices is kind of a big hurdle to jump over if you don't know where to start. And so we do have some presets. I use those in the demo. If you want to go back and rewatch it, you can see choosing one of the presets at the top there. And in the future, we'll be able to save your own presets. So once you've been able to set up your brand colors and your brand fonts, you'll be able to save your own preset with that.
Save time.
So, yeah, absolutely. In terms of technical issues, there's not a lot that can go wrong in the process, because it's a pretty straightforward process, and I can kind of walk you through what happens in each stage. So when you're uploading a video, that's pretty straightforward. You send it from your device up to our servers in the cloud. And then once we receive that, we start transcribing that video with an automatic speech recognition technology. That enables us to give you a really good starting point for what's being said in the transcript. And we've seen many use cases where it's over 90% accurate, in some cases not even missing a single word. But with English in particular, there's definitely words that can be confused, right, between one another. And so we want to make sure that our users have the ability to go through and edit that and correct anything that we may have missed. And then once that editing process is done, you can choose your style for your captions, the look and the feel and the color of them. And then you just burn them in. And that's where we take over and we go through frame by frame through your whole video. And we actually draw the captions on that frame programmatically using our caption engine. And that's kind of where the magic sauce is, and the secret sauce to Quicc is being able to do that at scale and very quickly. So in terms of transcription, let's say for an average video, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, you're only gonna be waiting around 1.5 to 2 minutes for that transcription to finish.
Wow. That fast.
Yeah.
And I saw that one was updated like that, and it was about I think it was 1 minute, 1 second video, and it was done before you're done explaining about it.
Yeah. And we have kind of a minimum time. So it takes about 1 minute and 20 seconds for any video, whether it's 5 seconds long or an hour long. And then it kind of scales up a little bit based off of the length of the video. But it's certainly not linear. So for an hour-long video, you're not going to be waiting probably more than, I would say, 8 minutes to get that transcript back.
Now, even though it is highly accurate, and you said often about 90%, you're still going to want to take time to go through, because I did notice like your name, it's spelled Toevs, but it's pronounced Toevs, so that it got that wrong. But how would it get that right? Quicc, your own name brand, it just grabbed the traditional spelling of Quicc, so you had to go fix that. So definitely helps to go through, clean up for grammar and syntax and stuff, I'm assuming, real quick, and just spellings of things that aren't common.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that at first when we were building product and we were talking to a lot of our users and getting feedback from the people who were viewing their content once it was finished, we were really interested to see like how big of a deal is perfection with subtitles and captions. And there's definitely use cases where it's more important. But for example, we've had some creators who will just upload, longer form content that they don't want to go through and edit or correct, and then they just burn the captions in for that, because they realize that like the majority of the content is going to be communicated, even if they miss a word here or there in between lines. So that was one of the most interesting surprises from developing this product, is seeing that there's a very forgiving nature in most cases to if there's a misspelling here, or maybe you forgot a comma where you should have had a comma, or there's a capitalization. But it's definitely good to go through and make sure that your content is exactly what you want it to be before pressing in the burning captions.
Now, how many language options were there? I saw a whole list of them. Do you have most languages covered, or about
No,
how
I
many?
think we've got 11 language profiles and
Okay.
accents that are available. We're working on a few others, but I think we have 11 right now, and those are really based off of demand. So adding a new language is complex, as you may imagine. But for us, we want to make sure that we are handling areas that are having high volume of usage. Surprisingly enough, I think it's our third most used language profile is Brazilian Portuguese. So all of you who are
Oh, wow.
watching this in Brazil or maybe speak Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese in particular, great job. Like that was really impressive. That was really fascinating to us.
What about the difference between American English and British English? Does it recognize that? Or if you are British, you got to go through, and if the word is color, you have to go add the U in there or something like that.
Yeah. So that's exactly the use case that those accents or language profiles are there for. So making sure that favor or favorite, color, those types of words, but also accounting for words that may be more commonly used. So for example, my mom grew up in Australia, and so I was exposed to a lot of the Australian language and terminology. So instead of trash can, it might be rubbish bin. So understanding that even within the spoken language is fairly important to make sure that we keep that accuracy up, and we're not confusing an automatic speech recognition model.
Gotcha. Very, very cool, man. And I really appreciate this. Is there anything that you wanted to bring up or say that I might not have already brought up?
No, Kevin, I really appreciate this. I would just say a huge thank you to everyone who has been creating content with Quicc to date, and all the new people, hopefully, who try us out based off this video. It's really exciting for us to see how Quicc helps enhance your workflow and the performance and speed of getting content out. Because we realize that as creators ourselves, the most exciting thing is creating the content, not going through the post-production nightmare of adding trivial little things to that content, captions included. So we really want to make that process easy so that you can reach larger audiences, that you can see better engagement on that content for your campaigns, or just so that people see it more often and stop and have a look at it. And we're honored to be here. And if there's ever any questions, we have a pretty awesome support team that I lead, and be happy to answer them at any time for you.
Excellent, man. Well, hey, there you have it, folks. Another amazing tool to help you improve your digital sales, marketing, and just content creation. If you're interested in adding, these incredibly helpful and valuable captions in your marketing, sales, emails for your different social platforms, head on over to Quicc.io. That's Quicc.io, or check the link for the description below. And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest digital sales and tools, please like and subscribe to this channel. And we will catch you next time.